Just a brief infrastructure update. First thing I want to start with, you heard the governor and the mayor and the neighboring parish presidents go over very high level stuff. We're going to get a little bit more into the ground, into the weeds. First thing we really want to cover, first of all, can you hear me okay? I should say that, okay. Safety. Generally, stay home. Being on the roads right now is dangerous. In particular, the men and women who work with the folks standing behind me, they are working really hard to get our city safe again and reopened as quickly as possible. They're on the sides of the right-of-ways, on the streets, cleaning up vegetation, cleaning up debris, getting your power back online. Don't go out on the roads unless you absolutely have to. If you absolutely have to, and you get to a traffic light that is non-functioning, first off, when you're driving, just drive slower. Just drive slower. You get to a traffic light, it is a four-way stop sign. Heretofore this morning and last night, there are people who are driving right through them. Right now we have NOPD doing an assessment of the biggest intersections we need, and we've put an order in for about 200 to 300 temporary stop signs because we don't necessarily know when those traffic lights are going to come online. Please drive safely if you have to go out and go to a pharmacy to get a prescription or something like that. General, I'm going to turn it over to Cynthia in a moment on debris, but generally what we're looking at for your private property debris, Monday is when we're going to have debris collection start. So you've got through the weekend to gather up the stuff on your property, and then you can put it out there. The Department of Parks and Parkways, the Department of Public Works, and the Department of Sanitation are working really incredibly well together. All of those men and women are working incredibly well together to get our streets and our city back up and going again. Please look out for them as you drive around. Thus far, we've completed of our city assets, thanks to the Department of Capital Projects, the Department of Property Management, and the Project Delivery Unit, 70 city facility assessments. As of this morning, we have damage on at least 12 of them. That includes everything from toppled over lights to playgrounds that have received damage to water intrusion in some of our buildings. That work is continuing to be underway now. If you have an open building permit, you are getting regular communications from the city. If you're a builder or you're renovating a house or something like that, please keep your job site clear. Please keep your debris in the same way that we're describing debris cleanup. Please take care of those sites. RTA is opening limited bus service imminently. Probably they've already opened it. They may be opening it shortly, within the hour. Ferries will begin operation this afternoon. Streetcars are going to take a bit more because we're clearing all of that debris off of the streetcar lines. If you are parked in a neutral ground, yes, the parking enforcement was suspended until noon. We are not ticketing, though, people who remain parked on neutral ground. We'd like you to leave so we can get all the vegetation off of those neutral grounds, but if you've got to leave your car there longer because you don't have another place to put it because of debris, you can leave it there, but please get it out of there as quickly as possible. And as you exit, drive slowly to ensure our neutral grounds don't get damaged by the weight of your vehicle. Finally, we have power limited at sewage and water board sewer lift stations. When you flush sewage from your house, it has to be pumped from a lift station, which is generally powered by Entergy. Thanks to the good folks at Entergy, they have a dedicated crew to get the power focused on those lift stations back up. But just as a matter of precaution, we have not seen problems yet. If you can limit dishwashing, limit clothes washing, limit long showers, limit long baths, don't overdo it with producing wastewater from your residence or business. That way we can keep the load a little bit lighter on the sewage and water board's power demand on its sewer lift stations. I'm going to turn it over to Director Ann McDonald from the Department of Parks and Parkways. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Good afternoon, Ann McDonald with the Department of Parks and Parkways. Our crews have been on the street since last night trying to clear right-of-ways and streets, working with Sanitation and DPW to make sure that our citizens could drive about safely. We're also addressing tree issues on private property. These are public trees that have impacted private property. We are not addressing your private tree on your property. That is something you have to deal with your insurance company. We are working in unison to make sure that things are saved. Debris will be on the neutral ground for a few days, and then the debris contractors will be coming in to help us pick that up. We ask that citizens be very safe and work cautiously. If you've got tree branches down in your yard that may be entangled in a power line, please don't touch them. We've already had a fatality, and we don't want to have any more. Better safe than sorry. Leave it alone. Make sure you work with Entergy so that they can de-energize the lines, or call us. Call 311 so that we can come out and make that assessment. We ask for your patience. We have about 100,000 trees in New Orleans, and all of them got a haircut last night. So we've got a lot of brush and a lot of wood in the street, but we are working all hands on deck to get this done as quickly as possible. Call 311 if you have any questions, and we will always be out there to address them. Thank you so much, and I thank my partners at Sanitation and DPW working with us together.
Good afternoon. I'm Cynthia Sylvain-Lear, Director of Sanitation for the City of New Orleans. As was mentioned, we're working really hard to recover the city from last night's weather event. It is the Department of Parks and Parkways, Sanitation, Public Works, and Mosquito and Termite and Rodent Control Board. We're all on the ground, including North Sea. They are working to recover their parks and playgrounds and a number of walking paths. What we really ask citizens to do, if you are fortunate enough to only have small twigs, branches, and leaves down on your property, please bundle those small branches, 4 foot lengths or less. Bag your leaves. You can put up to 6 bundles of tree limbs or 6 bags of leaves next to your regular garbage cans. That will be picked up on the regular schedule. They resumed that today after a slight delay this morning to allow persons time to put their carts out. But that will help tremendously. Yes, we have activated our emergency debris contractors. We do plan to have them in the city starting on Monday. We ask that persons with larger tree limbs get them to the curb. Again, not blocking any pedestrian or vehicular right-of-ways. Safety is very important. And again, please make sure as you're working or citizens are working that they are made aware or paying attention to whether or not there are power lines that may be down. Very important that people segregate that green waste from even construction debris. We try to get the green waste to composting as much as possible, and that only helps us, and that's only possible when that debris is segregated. We also want to remind businesses they are not eligible for debris collection by the city. Even small businesses where the city in the past picked up their regular garbage, it is a FEMA guideline that businesses are not eligible for storm debris pickup. So we need them to arrange for private disposal. They cannot just stack it on the curb. Very important that everyone cooperate with getting our city clean. The weather is beautiful, it's wonderful. It's a great day for citizens to work with the kids, picking up leaves or branches, getting them ready for collection. And again, regular garbage, recycling, those smaller items can be put with household garbage and removed. We want those debris contractors to really focus on that large wood that's out there so we can get that up quickly. Thank you again. We appreciate everyone's cooperation.
Good afternoon, everyone. As we predicted, we woke up this morning and we understand that we have severe impacts to our system related to that powerful storm that came through our service territory. But our team of 500 is out in force working to restore power quickly. Our crews are continuing their assessments, and so far, much of the damage we're encountering is downed trees and branches. We hit our peak numbers of outages across the state last night at 10 p.m. when we had 481,000 customers without power across the state of Louisiana. Currently, we have approximately 395 customers remaining without power. In New Orleans, we hit a peak of 178,000 customers without power. And what that means that this storm impacted approximately 75% of our customer base in the city of New Orleans. We currently have approximately 125,000 customers currently without power. So what I can say to you is I will tell you we've had significant impacts, and I will commit to telling you what I know when I know it. It may take us a couple of days to get full damage assessments to provide our customers with the estimated restoration times. As soon as the damage assessments are complete, we will begin sending estimated restoration times to our customers. While every storm is different, based on historical data, the duration of outages as a result of a Category 2 hurricane can be up to 10 days. While 90% of our customers will be restored sooner, customers in the hardest hit areas may be out longer. So let me talk to you a little bit about where we are in our restoration process. So we have scouts in the field, and they're performing damage assessments, as I indicated. So far, we've identified approximately 200 poles down in New Orleans that we know of, and approximately 300 poles down in the Chalmette area. Vegetation is our biggest challenge, and our crews are encountering an extensive number of trees and tree branches down. And we're working closely with our partners in Parks and Parkways to de-energize lines in order to clear vegetation and debris so our crews can restore power safely. Our storm team is currently focused on restoring power to our critical infrastructure, including critical feeders to our hospitals, sewage and water board, police and fire departments. And again, we're focusing on de-energizing the down power lines so we can clear debris and safely restore power. We're continuing to encourage our customers to contact us. They can download the free app at entergy.com/app. They can sign up for text alerts at 36778. If they're not registered, they need to text REG to 36778. Once they're registered, and they want to make sure we know customers are out, and trust me, we know there's a widespread number of outages across the city at this point. And they should follow us on Twitter and Facebook. I do want to hit a very important point. After the storm passes can be one of the most dangerous times for all of us, our customers and our crews. So the first thing we want to do today is we're focusing on cleanup. And I know you all are focusing on cleanup, and we ask you to take extra precautions. There may be a live power line hidden amongst the trees or branches, so please be very careful. If you see a down power line, please contact us at 1-800-9-OUTAGE to report those down power lines. Generator safety. If you're using a generator for backup, please be careful. A few tips: always follow the manufacturer's instructions, and portable generators should never be connected directly to the home's wiring, as it could send electricity back into the power lines where crews are working. Never use a generator inside a home, garage, basement, or crawl space, or any other partially enclosed area. Keep generators away from doors, windows, and vents that could allow carbon monoxide to come into your home. Opening doors and windows or using fans will not prevent carbon monoxide buildup in your homes. So for more tips, you can visit our Entergy Storm Center for additional information. So that's all I have at this point.
Just make sure I'm accurate. Between 7 to 10 days is when power could be fully restored.
I'm sorry, say the question again.
Just make sure power could be restored max expected time. I know you're working around the clock.
Right.
But 7 to 10 days could be the max time possibly.
So based on historical predictions, for a Category 2 storm, it could be up to 10 days, maybe longer in some of the hardest hit areas, and it could be sooner if we're able to get to those areas quicker. And so we generally give up to 10 days. That's what history tells us is the amount of time for restoration for that type of storm. And you're correct. We are continuing to work, but the first thing that we have to do, and I want to make sure everybody understands, damage assessment is key. It is so important for us to understand what we're facing out there, what conditions that we have out there. We want to make sure that we have debris cleared. We want to make sure that customers stay away, stay back so that we can get the job done. I think many of you all have seen that our crews are in town and they are out there in the field now. And as soon as we can have damage assessments, even if they're partially complete in an area, we're going to begin restoration as soon as we have assessments done in that area. And we're going to closely monitor that so that we can make sure we're providing the most accurate information to customers as we can. And I think many of you all know that we are proactively messaging to our customers information. We will send more out later today as we get information, and we'll continue to do so until we have all customers restored. So. So once we have the damage assessments complete, then we have a plan of execution as to how we're going to be able to restore in a methodical way to get our critical customers restored and then the larger customer base. So what I expect is that number will decrease, and the number currently is approximately 125,000 customers. And I think that once we have that damage assessment, like I said, it could take up to a few days. It could take us a few days to get that totally complete. But once we get those complete, you will see that number begin to decrease.
Can you talk to us about prioritizing polling locations ahead of the election when it comes to restoring power?
So what we are doing right now is we are working with local officials. Right now, we're not too sure what locations may or may not have power on the day of, and so we're still doing damage assessments to understand what the impacts are to those locations. So we're continuing to work closely with local and state officials to assist them with any backup generation needs that they may have. It's not a situation of a priority at all. What we're doing right now is working with the state and local officials as they make decisions to support them in any way that we can. No. So we have crews coming in from 12 states across the country that we were able to get agreements with prior to the storm's passage. And so, yes, we have a number of crews coming in from around the country. So, yes, you will see individuals from multiple states. And so we ask you all to understand they may not be from here, and just stay back, let them work safe. And then COVID. We have COVID concerns, okay? And so I know customers may have questions and they want to approach our crew members and ask them questions, but we ask them if they do have questions, please reach out to us as a company as opposed to delaying them from being able to do their work.
For a number, you said 125,000?
Approximately 125,000. And the reason I say that is because it can vacillate, a couple thousand here or there, and because we may get to an area where we're trying to make a repair and we have to drop out a few in order to make a repair and then put them back in, and so that number just kind of vacillates, but we're holding steady right around about that 125,000 right now. But to your point, I do anticipate we will see some movement in that number beginning on tomorrow.
And that would make up about 75% of the city, you said?
The 178,000 that were out at the peak.
Big Will on